Noah asked the question like it was a normal thing to ask. It was Tuesday afternoon, the kind of gray November day that makes the Pacific Northwest feel like it's holding its breath. I was at the kitchen island in our Bellevue house, sorting mail and half listening to the dryer hum, when my son wandered in with his backpack still on. He hesitated like he was about to confess to breaking something. "Dad?" he said. "Yeah, buddy?" I didn't look up yet. I was staring at a stack of school flyers and a utility bill. Noah swallowed. "Why does Mom say we have another house?" My hands stopped. I looked up slowly, expecting to see a prank smile. Instead, I saw uncertainty. Real, worried, 11-year-old uncertainty. "What do you mean?" I asked, keeping my voice casual on purpose. Noah shrugged, eyes flicking toward the hallway like he wasn't sure if Serena could hear. "I heard her on the phone. She said, 'I'll be at the other place.' And then she said something about our place in Kirkland." Kirkland was 15 minutes away. We didn't have a place in Kirkland. For a second, my mind tried to file the words into something harmless. Maybe Serena meant her sister's house. Maybe she meant a friend's place. Maybe she meant the little craft studio she rented for her marketing projects, the one I'd never seen, but paid for without questions because questions always started fights. But Noah's face wasn't asking for a story. It was asking for truth. "I don't know," I said carefully. "Maybe she meant something else." Noah's brow furrowed. "She said it like it was ours." The dryer thumped. The refrigerator clicked. The house continued being a house. My stomach tightened anyway. "Go wash your hands," I said gently. "Snack in 5 minutes." Noah nodded and disappeared toward the sink. I stood at the island, staring at the mail without seeing it. My name is Thomas Hale. Most people call me Tom. I'm 58 years old. I spent 3 decades as a finance director, until last year, when my doctor told me my blood pressure was climbing like a stock chart during a panic. I stepped down for my health, for my family. I did not expect my family to be the thing I needed protection from. Upstairs, Lily's voice floated down the hall, singing something from her school musical. 9 years old, fearless, loud. Serena's favorite kind of child. Easy to post on social media, easy to turn into a symbol. I picked up my phone and checked the family calendar. Serena managed like a small empire. Thanksgiving at Dana's, Thursday, 2 p.m. Her sister's name was everywhere, like Dana had become the center of our orbit. I almost texted Serena right then. What did Noah hear? What is the other place? Do we have a lease somewhere? But I didn't. Because the last time I asked a financial question, Serena looked at me like I'd accused her of murder. "Why are you like this?" she'd said. "Why do you always assume the worst?" Assume. Worst. Noah's question hadn't sounded like an assumption. It sounded like a leak. So I did what I had always done when my world got foggy. I went to the numbers. That evening, after homework and dinner and the usual negotiation over bedtime, Serena said she needed to run an errand. "Now?" I asked, keeping it neutral. She adjusted her coat in the mirror. "I forgot something for Dana. It's Thanksgiving week. People plan." She kissed Lily's head, ruffled Noah's hair, and left. I watched her taillights vanish, then turned back to the kitchen. The counter was cluttered with normal life. A half-finished craft, a cereal box, Lily's math sheet. Normal is a powerful disguise. I opened my laptop and logged into our joint credit monitoring account, a service Serena insisted on for safety. The dashboard loaded. My eyes skimmed the alerts like I was reading weather. And then I saw it. Less payment, recurring, $2,450. Merchant, Puget Sound Rentals. Location, Kirkland, Washington. My heart kicked hard once, like it was testing a weak spot. We didn't rent anything. I clicked into details. The payments had been running for 5 months. 5. I scrolled backward through statements, jaw tightening with every identical line. $2,450. $2,450. $2,450. Next, a utility bill vendor I didn't recognize. A parking garage pass. A storage unit subscription. Then a series of consulting payments to something called Ridgewell Strategies, LLC. $6,200, $50,900, $6,600. Total, $18,700 in 3 months. I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. Kirkland. Consulting. Storage unit. No, I said quietly to the empty kitchen, like the word could reverse time. No. My fingers moved anyway. I opened our shared email account and searched for lease, for Kirkland, for Ridgewell. One email popped up immediately, archived but not deleted. Lease agreement. Welcome home. I clicked. The message loaded with a PDF attachment. I didn't open it yet. I read the preview text first. Congratulations, Serena Hale. Your application has been approved. Serena. Not us. Not me. Just Serena. I sat back in my chair, palms flat on the table, trying to breathe like a normal person. Betrayal doesn't arrive as a movie scene. Sometimes it arrives as a recurring payment. The front door opened at 9:42. Serena's heels clicked across the tile. She paused when she saw my laptop open. "You're still up," she said, tone too bright. "I couldn't sleep," I replied. She glanced at the screen, then at me. "What are you doing?" I closed the laptop gently. "Just checking bills." Serena's face tightened for half a second. Then she smiled, a practiced shape. "You always do this when you're stressed." "I'm not stressed," I said. She walked closer, leaned down, kissed my cheek. Her perfume was familiar and suddenly unbearable. "I'm exhausted," she said. "Big week. Let's not fight." Then she went upstairs. I sat alone in the kitchen until the house went completely quiet. And then I reopened the laptop. I opened the lease PDF. 1-bedroom apartment, Kirkland waterfront. Leaseholder, Serena Hale. Move-in date, 5 months ago. Parking spot, included. Storage unit, optional add-on. On the last page, a signature line. Serena Hale, signed. A second signature under emergency contact. James Mercer. I didn't know a James Mercer. I stared at the name until it lost meaning. Then my phone buzzed. 4:09 p.m. on Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. A message from Serena. "This Thanksgiving will be just family at my sister's. You're not invited. Please don't make it awkward." My first thought was stupid and automatic. How can she text me this from upstairs? Then I realized she wasn't upstairs. She was in the bathroom, yes, but her phone was in her hand. She was in her own world, texting me like a coworker she wanted to keep out of a meeting. A typing bubble appeared. Then the second text landed beneath the first. "You haven't earned a place at that table this year, Tom. Not after everything." Earned? Table? Everything? My stomach turned. Not because of the insult, but because of the timing. She was cutting me out while she kept the house, the kids, and a second apartment. The betrayal wasn't only romantic. It was logistical, financial, strategic. I set the phone down carefully. Outside, rain tapped softly against the windows. The world looked the same. Inside, my marriage had become a business arrangement I had never agreed to. I picked up the phone again and opened my banking app. I navigated to recurring payments, and for the first time in years, I actually looked. Mortgage autopay, Serena's SUV lease, private school tuition for Noah and Lily, housekeeper, Serena's credit card autopay, utilities, streaming packages. Country club membership Serena insisted was for networking. The family cell plan. I muttered the total under my breath. $9,140 every month. A life. Her life. Both of them. If I wasn't family, then I wasn't responsible for funding her performances. I typed my reply to Serena, keeping it short enough that I couldn't talk myself out of it. Thanks for letting me know. Effective today, I'm canceling all automatic payments that fund your lifestyle. We can discuss arrangements for the kids through attorneys. Have a nice holiday. I read it twice. Then I hit send. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the call started. Serena. I watched it ring and didn't answer. Again. Again. Then a call from Dana, her sister. Then Serena again. Then my mother-in-law. Then numbers I didn't recognize. I flipped my phone to silent and set it on the counter, face up, so I could watch the light flash without hearing the panic. I went back to the banking app and began dismantling my own habits. Country club. Canceled. Credit card autopay. Canceled. Streaming. Canceled. Housekeeper. Canceled. Serena's SUV lease autopay. Canceled. Cell plan. Moved to a separate account in my name only. Mortgage autopay. Changed to manual payment from my personal account. No shared access. The tuition payments required logging into the school portal. That one gave me pause. Not because Serena deserved it, because Noah and Lily deserved stability. So I didn't cancel tuition. I changed the payment method to direct pay from a new account and disabled Serena's access to the billing dashboard. Same money, different control. By the time I finished, the phone showed 92 missed calls. I poured a glass of water I didn't drink and stood at the sink, watching the rain streak down the window, waiting for the feeling that usually followed big decisions. Relief didn't arrive. Neither did guilt. What arrived was clarity. At 11:18 p.m., Serena stormed into the kitchen in a robe, phone in hand, face flushed. "What did you do?" she demanded. I kept my voice calm. I canceled automatic payments. Her mouth opened, then snapped shut. She tried again. "You can't just do that." "I can," I said. I did. Her eyes narrowed. "This is why you're not coming Thursday. You always do this, make everything about you." "You told me I'm not family," I replied. She waved a hand like she was dismissing a child. "I told you Dana doesn't want drama." "You created drama with a text," I said. Serena's gaze flicked toward the stairs. "Don't talk like this when the kids can hear." "Then don't start it," I said. Her voice dropped, sharp. "You're humiliating me." "Good," I said before I could stop myself. Then I corrected, quieter. "No, I'm drawing a line." Serena's face went blank for a beat. Then she smiled, cold this time. "If you do this," she said softly, "I'll tell everyone exactly who you are." There it was. Not a legal threat, a social threat. Reputation. Margaret Lynn's name came into my mind like a lifeline. She was a family law attorney my colleague once recommended during a messy divorce. I didn't know yet that I needed a divorce attorney. I only knew I needed an adult in the room. That night, while Serena slammed the bedroom door, I sat at the dining table and built a timeline. Noah's question, Kirkland lease payments, Ridgewell strategies, James Mercer. Then, the disinvite text. The order of events mattered. Because in court, feelings are opinions. Timelines are evidence. At 6:45 a.m., I called Margaret Lynn's office. "I need an emergency consult," I said. By noon, I was in her downtown Seattle conference room, staring at a framed photo of Rainier while Margaret read my printed documents. Margaret was in her early 50s, hair pulled back, voice calm in a way that made panic feel stupid. "You're telling me your wife has a secret lease in Kirkland," she said, "and you found a HELOC in your name?" "I haven't checked the HELOC yet," I admitted, "but the lease is real." Margaret looked up sharply. "Check the HELOC today, right now. And Tom, do not confront her about the details until we have a plan." "Why not?" I asked, though I already knew the answer in my bones. "Because she'll destroy evidence," Margaret said. "And if she thinks she can win by painting you as unstable, she'll do it. People get creative when the money stops." Margaret outlined a plan like a checklist. Step 1. Separate your finances. New accounts, new passwords. Remove shared device access. Step 2. Lock credit. Fraud alerts. Step 3. Hire a forensic accountant. Step 4. File for legal separation and temporary orders. Custody, support, exclusive use of the home. Step 5. Report any fraudulent credit activity to the bank immediately. I signed her retainer without hesitation. On the way home, I called our bank. The fraud department transferred me twice, and then a calm voice said, "Mr. Hale, how can I help?" "I need to confirm whether a home equity line of credit exists on my property," I said. A pause. Keyboard clicks. Then, "Yes, Mr. Hale, there is a HELOC opened 3 months ago." My throat tightened. I didn't open it. Another pause, longer. "I can open a fraud investigation. We'll place a hold on additional draws while we review the opening packet." "Yes," I said. "Do it." That evening, I checked the HELOC documents the bank emailed. My name. My address. A digital signature that looked like mine in the way a counterfeit bill looks real at first glance. Date signed. A Friday afternoon when I had been in a dentist chair getting a crown. The betrayal turned from suspicion into certainty. Thanksgiving morning arrived gray and cold. Noah and Lily ate cereal at the counter while Serena moved through the house like a storm, slamming cabinet doors, sighing loudly, making sure everyone felt her suffering. At 9:15, she stood in the hallway with a suitcase. "I'm taking the kids to Dana's," she announced. "No," I said calmly. Serena froze. "Excuse me?" "I filed for temporary parenting orders," I said. "You'll be served today. Until then, the kids stay here." Serena's face flushed red. "You can't keep them from me." "I'm not," I said. "But you're not taking them without an agreement." Her eyes flicked toward the kids. Then her voice softened instantly, like she'd flipped a switch. "Noah, Lily," she sang out. "Go get your jackets. We're going to Aunt Dana's for Thanksgiving." Noah looked at me, confused. Lily's brow furrowed. I knelt so I was eye level with them. Guys, I said gently, we're staying home today. We're going to make our own Thanksgiving dinner. Pancakes now, turkey later. Okay? Noah's shoulders dropped in relief. Lily nodded slowly. Can we make the sweet potato thing? Yes, I said, with marshmallows. She smiled, small but real. Serena hissed, You're manipulating them. I stood. We're not doing this in front of the kids. At 10:40, a process server knocked. Serena opened the envelope, lips moving as she read. You called a lawyer, she said, voice trembling with rage. I had to, I replied, because you opened a HELOC in my name. Serena's face went blank, too blank. Then she laughed sharply. That's ridiculous. I have the documents, I said, and the Kirkland lease. Her eyes narrowed, searching my face. You went through my things. I went through our finances, I corrected. Her voice turned dangerously calm. If you keep pushing this, she said softly, I will tell everyone exactly who you are. That afternoon, while Noah and Lily watched a movie upstairs, Serena left to get air. The next morning, my phone buzzed with messages from people I barely knew. Are you okay? What's going on with Serena's post? Is it true you cut her off? I opened Facebook. Serena's post was public. My husband is financially abusive. 2 days before Thanksgiving, he cut off our accounts, leaving me and the children without support. He's controlling, cold, and unpredictable. Please keep us in your prayers as I protect my kids. The comments poured in. So sorry, Serena. You're brave. Those poor babies. I felt the familiar urge to respond, to defend myself, to explain. But Margaret had been clear. Don't fight in public. Win in documents. So I closed Facebook and opened a folder on my desktop. Evidence. I saved screenshots of Serena's Thanksgiving texts. I saved the Kirkland lease. I saved the HELOC opening packet. I saved the bank's fraud hold confirmation. I saved the Ridgewell Strategies invoices. Then I wrote one calm email to 3 people who mattered. My brother, my oldest friend, and Serena's mother. Attached are documents. This is why I acted. Please don't engage publicly. The truth is in the records. I hit send. The week after Thanksgiving was a dead zone, everyone pretending the holiday didn't crack something open. Noah went back to school with a paper turkey handprint. Lily brought home a list of gratitude words she'd copied in careful marker. Serena stayed in the house like a ghost that wanted credit for haunting. She didn't speak to me unless the kids were in the room. When they were, she performed. Daddy's having a hard time, she'd say sweetly while buttering toast. We're giving him space. Noah would glance at me, confused. Lily would stare at her cereal, the way kids stare when they're trying to read adults like subtitles. At night, Serena didn't fight. She strategized. On Sunday, she tried bargaining. She stood in the doorway of my office, arms folded, voice low. If you reverse the payments and stop the bank stuff, I won't drag you publicly. I'm not negotiating, I said. You opened credit in my name. Her eyes flicked, anger, fear, calculation. You don't have proof. I have records, I replied. Serena's smile returned like a mask. Records can be interpreted, she said softly. People believe stories. Then she walked away. 2 days later, the story became her weapon again. A caseworker from Child Services called while I was at the grocery store buying apples and turkey stock. Mr. Hale, a woman asked, professional. We received a report expressing concern about conflict in the home and the children's emotional safety. My stomach tightened. A report from whom? I can't disclose that, she said. We'd like to schedule a home visit. I have an attorney, I said evenly. I will cooperate, and I'll have counsel present. There was a pause. That's fine, she said. When I told Margaret, she didn't sound surprised. She's trying to build a narrative, she said. Stay calm. Provide facts. Let your stability speak. The home visit happened that Friday afternoon. The caseworker sat at our kitchen table with a clipboard, while Serena perched on a bar stool in a sweater that looked chosen for sympathy. She spoke in a soft voice about control and financial punishment. Her eyes were shiny, but the tears didn't fall. Noah and Lily stayed in the living room within sight, building a Lego tower that kept collapsing. The caseworker asked me simple questions: work schedule, routines, discipline, bedtime. I answered plainly. Then I offered documentation, parenting orders filed, bank fraud investigation, proof that tuition and childcare were being paid directly. Serena's jaw tightened when the caseworker examined the paperwork. After an hour, the caseworker stood. Mr. Hale, she said, thank you for your cooperation. I'm not seeing immediate safety concerns. I will file my report accordingly. Serena's face stayed composed until the door closed. Then she hissed, You think you won? I think the kids deserve peace, I said. Serena's eyes flashed. Then stop. You first, I replied. That weekend, Raphael suggested I confirm the Kirkland lease address without confrontation. Public record, corporate billing, anything you can get through legitimate channels, he said. We're building a timeline that stands up in court. So on a rainy Tuesday, I drove to Kirkland and parked across from the building listed on the lease. It looked exactly like Serena's taste. Modern, expensive. The kind of place with a lobby that smelled like citrus and money. I didn't go in like a betrayed husband. I went in like a man verifying an invoice. The leasing office wouldn't give me resident information. They shouldn't. But when I mentioned my attorney and a fraud investigation, the receptionist's tone changed from cheerful to cautious. She handed me a corporate billing contact card. They handle payment source questions, she said. As I turned to leave, a delivery person walked in with packages, and one label caught my eye in passing. Mercer, J. I didn't stare. I didn't take a photo. I didn't confront anyone. I walked out, sat in my car, and wrote it down in my notebook like a witness statement. Later that night, Raphael's deeper pull found the travel pieces that made the second life feel sickeningly real. A hotel in Portland, booked the same weekend Serena said she was at a wellness retreat. 2 airline tickets, one under Serena Hale, the other under James Mercer. A dinner charge at a restaurant I recognized from an anniversary trip Serena and I once planned but never got around to. It wasn't just an affair. It was my money funding someone else's romance. And then Serena tried her oldest trick, using the kids to reach me. On December 10th, an unknown number texted a photo. Noah and Lily were sitting on Serena's bed, faces sad in that stiff way kids look when an adult tells them to look upset. Lily's cheeks were slightly red, like she'd been told to rub them. Caption: They cried themselves to sleep, asking why you don't love them. My hands went cold. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, ready to type the apology Serena wanted. Then I looked again at Lily's face, and the anger sharpened into something clearer. This wasn't grief. It was staging. I didn't respond. I saved the image. I forwarded it to Margaret. Then I walked upstairs and sat on Noah's bed while he pretended to read. "Hey," I said quietly. He looked up. "Yeah?" "I want you to hear this from me," I said. "I love you. Nothing that happens between adults changes that." Noah's eyes filled, and he blinked fast like he was trying not to cry. "Mom says you're mad at us." "I'm not," I said. "I'm mad at a situation. You and Lily aren't the situation." He nodded, swallowing hard. Down the hall, Lily called, "Dad, can you help me with my song?" "Coming," I said. That night, after they were asleep, I opened 2 529 education accounts, one for Noah, one for Lily, and set them so only I and a court-appointed administrator could direct payments. I also set up direct pay for school lunches, after-school care, and approved medical expenses. No cash transfers to Serena. No reimbursements. No gray areas. If she wanted to claim I abandoned the kids, she'd have to do it while the school got paid on time. December blurred into a long stretch of quiet tension. Serena didn't stop trying to pull me back into the old pattern. She just changed methods. One Saturday morning, my doorbell camera pinged. Serena stood on the porch with Dana beside her, both holding their phones at chest height like they were recording. Serena knocked once, then said loudly toward the camera, "Tom, please. The kids need their mother. Don't do this." Dana added, just as loudly, "This is cruel, Tom. People are watching." I sat inside, watching the live feed, feeling the strange distance of someone observing a performance they used to participate in. I didn't open the door. 2 hours later, Serena posted a short video clip, her crying on my porch, Dana narrating about financial abuse. The clip didn't show the HELOC. It didn't show the Kirkland lease. It didn't show the text that started it. It showed exactly what Serena wanted the world to see. A woman at a door, shut out. I didn't respond. I forwarded the link to Margaret and saved it to the evidence folder. Documentation works both ways. Margaret's forensic accountant, Rafael Ortiz, began the deep review. He asked for statements, credit reports, and device logs. His questions were surgical. "Any shared tablets?" he asked. I thought of the kitchen iPad we used for recipes and homework. Serena insisted it stay logged into our shared email for convenience. Convenience had been expensive. Raphael traced password resets to that iPad. He traced the Ridgewell Strategies LLC registration to a man named James Mercer. He mapped HELOC draws to the lease and consulting deposits, like he was building a bridge between lies. On December 23rd, Serena tried a new hook. An unknown number texted a photo. Lily, holding a handmade card with shaky lettering. It said, "Please don't be mad." Underneath, Serena typed, "She made this herself. She misses you. You're hurting them." The card was real. The framing was not. I saved it. I forwarded it to Margaret. Then I went upstairs and helped Lily wrap a gift for her teacher, and I did not let Serena's hook catch my throat. On New Year's Day, the bank fraud investigator left a voicemail. "Mr. Hale, additional information. The HELOC account shows Serena Hale was added as an authorized user 2 weeks after opening. This appears intentional. We're preserving device and IP logs." Added. After opening. Not a mistake. A plan. And Serena, sensing she was losing the story, tried to reclaim the stage. At Lily's school concert in early January, Serena arrived late and slid into the row behind me. close enough that I could hear her whispering to another parent. "He's trying to destroy me," she said softly. "I'm just protecting my babies." I kept my eyes on the stage where Lily stood in a paper crown, singing too loudly and off-key. She waved when she saw me. I waved back. Serena leaned forward. "Are you going to tell Lily you're the reason we can't be a family?" she whispered. I didn't turn around. I didn't give her the scene. After the concert, I walked straight to Lily, hugged her, told her she did great, and left with Noah holding my hand. In the parking lot, Noah said quietly, "Mom was acting different." "I know," I said. "We're not going to perform for her. We're going to live." The bank investigation concluded mid-January. They confirmed the signature was not mine. The device logs pointed to the kitchen iPad, and the HELOC draws were deemed fraudulent. The bank reversed the debt liability away from me and opened a case against Serena. Serena posted again, louder and wilder. "He's trying to frame me. He's using his corporate friends to destroy me. This is what narcissists do." But the comments were different now. Some friends went quiet. A few asked questions. One wrote, "Serena, why is there a lease in Kirkland?" Serena deleted the comment. She could delete comments. She couldn't delete bank records. In February, James Mercer disappeared from Serena's posts. Ridgewell's website went offline. The Kirkland lease was terminated early with penalties. Serena moved into Dana's guest room and told the kids she lived there because Dad took the house. Noah repeated that to me one night, voice small. "You did take the house," he said. I sat on the edge of his bed. "The house is still your home," I said. "I'm keeping it stable so you don't have to move schools." Adults say things in ways that sound simple, but the truth is complicated. He stared at his blanket. "Is Mom lying?" I didn't call his mother a liar. "Mom is scared," I said. And sometimes scared people tell the story that makes them feel less scared. That was the most honest answer I could give a child without breaking him. In March, Serena emailed me directly. Subject: "We can fix this." "Tom, I made mistakes. I was lonely. You were distant. James was just someone who listened. I'll admit to the apartment if you stop pushing fraud. Drop the bank complaint and we can do this quietly for the kids." I read it twice. Then I forwarded it to Margaret. Margaret replied with one line: "Do not respond. This is an admission. We proceed." At our temporary orders hearing in early April, Serena arrived in a tailored coat and a look that belonged on a stage. She spoke softly to the judge about financial abuse and control. Margaret let her speak. Then Margaret handed the judge a binder. Tab A, Serena's disinvite texts. Tab B, the Kirkland lease. Tab C, HELOC opening packet with signature discrepancy. Tab D, bank fraud hold letter and investigation update. Tab E, Ridgewell Strategies registration tied to James Mercer. Tab F, timeline of draws and deposits. The judge's face didn't change much, but his eyes did. Serena's confidence cracked at the edges. The judge ordered full disclosure, strict financial restraints, and a parenting schedule that protected the kids' routine. Exchanges would be supervised by a neutral third party until the case settled. After the hearing, Serena didn't look at me. Dana glared like I'd ruined a play. I drove home, made the kids dinner, and folded laundry while a true crime documentary played on low volume, because irony is sometimes the only humor left. The divorce settlement conference happened in June. By then, the picture was too clear to blur. Serena's attorney proposed terms: a stable custody schedule, limited spousal support tied to employment, and repayment conditions for funds misused through the HELOC. In exchange, I would not pursue additional civil damages beyond what the bank required. Margaret asked me privately, "Do you want to punish her or end this?" I thought of Noah's question in the kitchen. I thought of Lily's card that said, "Please don't be mad." "I want it to end," I said. So we ended it. Final orders gave shared legal custody, primary residence with me during school weeks, and strict financial boundaries. All child expenses would be paid through direct channels: school, healthcare, activities. No cash transfers, no vague reimbursements. No more autopay, love. In late August, my phone buzzed with an email from Serena. Subject: I understand what I did. The message was short. Tom, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for the house. I'm not asking to go back. I'm asking you to believe that I see it now. I used you. I told myself stories so I didn't have to feel guilty. The kids deserved better from me. You deserved better. I'm sorry. Serena. No threats, no leverage, no performance. I stared at the screen for a long time. My cursor hovered over reply. Then I closed the laptop. Acknowledgement received. Response unnecessary. Thanksgiving came again that November. This time, no one had to disinvite anyone. Noah and Lily helped me make sweet potatoes with too many marshmallows. Noah pretended he was too old for it and then ate 3 servings. Lily made place cards with everyone's names, including our dogs. We drove to my brother's house in Tacoma for dinner. The table was crowded, loud, imperfect, warm. On the way home, Noah stared out the window at the dark freeway. "Dad," he said quietly, "why didn't you fight Mom online?" "Because online fights don't fix anything," I said. "They just make more damage for kids to step over." Lily yawned. "Mom still posts sometimes," she mumbled. "I know," I said. Noah was quiet. Then he asked the question that mattered. "Are you okay now?" I thought about the forged HELOC signature, the Kirkland lease, the first text that told me I wasn't invited, the way my own house had felt like a stage for someone else's story. Then I thought about Lily's place cards and Noah's laughter when the dog stole a roll off the counter. "I'm okay," I said. Not because everything was fair, because I stopped pretending unfair things were normal. That night, after the kids were asleep, I stood in the quiet kitchen for a moment and looked at the spot where the old iPad used to sit. I'd wiped it clean months ago and put it away. I opened my budget dashboard one more time. The line items were different now. No mysterious lease, no consulting invoices, no hidden draws, just the boring truth. And for the first time in years, boring felt like peace. Love, I realized, is not autopay. Love is showing up with boundaries. Love is telling the truth even when it costs you. Love is refusing to fund your own disrespect. Serena built an entire second life on the assumption that I would keep paying and keep forgiving. I canceled that assumption. And in the quiet that followed, I finally found my life again. End.